Most creators think that they aren't making money online because they need more followers, more views, or more engagement. That eventually, as they grow, the more people that know, like, and trust them, they will end up making more money. But after building an audience of over 150,000 followers, generating millions of views, generating an income from digital marketing, and spending a decade in the creator economy, I've realized something. More followers does not automatically equal more income. In fact, I've seen creators with 1,000 followers generating more income than creators with over 100,000 followers. Because here's something they don't tell you. Followers does not equal revenue. Solving problems does. But here's the thing, you don't actually care about the followers, the views, the engagement. But what you care about is building a business and earning money online. And not a single creator that I've seen do it at the highest level built their business because they had more followers. They built their business because they became known for solving problems. Think about creators like Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi didn't become known because he had a lot of followers. He became known because he solved problems within businesses. He built businesses, shared his knowledge, and then the followers came afterwards. And the same thing happened with Iman Gadzhi. He didn't create a personal brand and make money as a result of the personal brand. He started documenting his growth of building an agency and solve problems for that, for people who are struggling with the same thing. And eventually he grew a following and monetized that as well. Both creators built their expert brand first, then the followers came afterwards. But these days, everyone's trying to skip that first step and become known. They're trying to build an audience before they actually are known for solving problems. And people who follow that advice of trying to build an audience first and then monetize end up following one of two roads. Road number one, you start posting content, you build a following, you get a few views, but nothing really happens. Nobody reaches out, nobody buys, and eventually you just give up because you think that it doesn't work. Or you go down road number two where you build a massive following, people enjoy your content, people like you, but they don't trust you, and as a result, they don't reach out and they don't buy, and you end up in the same position as road number one. So you end up with 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, but no income and not really knowing what to do or how to fix it. Because both those roads follow the same false belief that more followers equals more income. But that's simply not true. People don't buy because you got more followers. They buy because you solve a specific problem which they're actually having trouble with. Imagine if you're trying to lose 20 kilos. And now imagine that you come across two pages on social media. One has 5,000 followers and the other one has 100,000 followers. But the second coach has helped hundreds of people in your exact position lose 20 kilos and actually get an end result. Who do you end up picking? You don't end up picking the person with the more followers. You pick the person who can actually solve the problem that you're actually specifically looking for. You're picking the person who can actually get you the result of what you're struggling with. And that's exactly how buying works. Whenever someone wants a problem solved, they don't go to the person who has more followers. They go to the person who can actually solve that problem and get them a result. And that's the difference. Followers attract attention, but problem solvers attract buyers. Followers create visibility, but solutions actually create revenue. And most of the time, most creators follow the first one, trying to get more attention, more views, without following the second one, which is exactly why they end up with a whole lot of attention, but no one reaching out and actually wanting to buy from them. Because the only thing that people actually need before they buy from you is confidence that you can actually help them with a solution. And that's where the three switches I'm going to talk about in this video come in. Switch number one, pick your monetization niche. So instead of following the advice of talking about anything that actually interests you, your monetization niche is defined by the problem that you're going to actually help people solve and that they're actually willing to pay you for. And when picking a monetization niche, most creators get it wrong on both ends. They either go too broad, as in they pick the overarching niche of like business, fitness, marketing, or content creation, or whatever, and they end up trying to speak to absolutely everybody, and as a result, no one tunes in at all. Or they go down the other path of being too narrow and they speak to a very small number of people. Think of Instagram growth for vegan dentists in Perth. And as a result of that, they actually have no one to actually sell to. So you want to try and find the actual sweet spot, which is somewhere in the middle. For the creator Adam Sullivan, it wasn't fitness, it was fat loss. For Alex Hormozi, it's not just business, it's business growth. The biggest creators and the ones which actually make the most money aren't known for the actual industry itself. They're known for solving a specific problem within an industry. And once you actually pick your monetization niche, that becomes the overarching problem that your entire account solves. But you don't create content for your niche. You create content for that one specific person within your niche who's trying to solve that problem. Because it's a lot easier to create content for that one person rather than an entire audience of different people. So what you want to do is actually define who that exact person is. Their problems, their frustrations, their false beliefs, their goals, what they've tried in the past, where they've failed. And you want to use the exact language that they use as well. So it becomes more specific to them. Because the better you actually understand this person, the easier it is to create content that feels specifically for them. When people feel heard or understood, they tend to lean in. And when they lean in and pay attention, they tend to trust you more. And when they trust you and believe that you can actually help them solve their problems, that's when they open their wallets and then end up buying from you. Now, switch number 2. This is your content pillars. Once you figure out what your monetization niche is and who you're actually going to specifically target, you don't just go out and start making random content. You break your monetization niche down into content pillars. And typically you want about 4. Now the rules for your content pillars are as follows. None of them can overlap, and each one needs a clear description of what you're actually going to talk about. So for example, let's say your monetization niche is content growth. Your content pillars might be content strategy, audience growth, personal branding, and monetization. Then every piece of content you create from then on out will fall into one of those 4 buckets. And that's how you become known for solving specific problems. And the biggest creators all do this. Alex Hormozi created a brand around recurring topics: business growth, marketing, sales, and wealth creation. Adam Sullivan has his own pillars: fat loss, nutrition, calories, and sustainable dieting. Every successful creator has these pillars. And once you do, using them is actually pretty simple. Then what you want to do is then create content consistently across each pillar. At the bare minimum, you want to be touching each pillar at least once a week, problems that you're actually trying to solve, and not just a small part of it. Now, see, a few years ago, I actually had a creative friend who was in the fitness and dieting space, and he ended up having a viral video, which went viral in the space of recipes. As a result, what he did was he doubled down on those recipe videos and went viral again and again for creating recipes. What he wanted to be known for initially, though, was being a high-ticket fitness coach. But as time went on, as he kept doubling down on those recipe videos, he became more and more known for actually recipes instead of fitness. And over the years, as a result, whenever you click the link in his bio, all you see now is recipe books, not for him being known as a high-ticket fitness coach. All because he didn't balance his content out across multiple pillars. He just doubled down on what got him virality. So learn from his mistake. You don't want to double down on the one piece of content within your pillars which gets virality. You still want to spread your content across the pillars. Even though a piece of content might go viral, you want to maintain that format, but still talk about multiple topics within your niche. Now, switch number 3 is positive reinforcement. Now, inside those pieces of content that you create every week within those content pillars, you want to be giving your best stuff away for free. Your brand and your reputation actually depends on it. Every piece of content you create reinforces something in your audience's mind, whether you like it or not. They're either being reinforced positively or negatively. Now, positive reinforcement is when someone watches your content and thinks, oh my God, this is actually really helpful, or I actually learned something, or I can't wait to see what the next piece of content is. So that the next time they actually see your content, they tend to stop scrolling and actually pay attention to what you actually have to say, because they have that positive reinforcement that you're actually going to educate them on something which actually is beneficial to them long term. However, negative reinforcement does the complete opposite. Whenever they see your content, they think, I just wasted 2 minutes of my life. Last time I watched their piece of content, why would I spend the same thing doing it now? Think about it like this. If you watch a movie and you thought it was terrible, if they come out with a sequel, it's highly unlikely that you're going to watch the sequel. Whereas if you watched the movie and it was amazing, it was one of your favorites, the next time that franchise releases a sequel or multiple sequels, you're going to actually tune in and actually want to watch the next one, even if you know it wasn't as good as the first. And content works in the exact same way. Every piece of content you create creates an impression in your audience's mind. And over time, those impressions compound. So that's why you should always give your best stuff away for free. Don't think, oh my God, they're going to learn all my secrets. Think about, this is going to actually help my audience create better trust within myself, so that when I actually produce something which is for a paid benefit, they will more likely open up and actually purchase it from me. Just think about it like this. If your content is just average, if you release an offer of some sort, what's the association that your audience is going to create between you and your offer? It's going to be average. But if it's good, and because all your free content has been exceptional and actually helped them, the moment you actually release something paid, they're going to go, oh yep, I know what this creator's about, and they'll lean in and purchase your paid offer. Because people don't feel like they're taking a risk now, because you've already shared your expertise and they can trust you. They trust that you're going to help them get a solution for their problem. And that's really the entire game. So stop chasing vanity metrics of views and followers, and start trying to actually provide value to your audience. And when people trust you to solve a problem, making money online becomes a lot easier. Pick a monetization niche, Get crystal clear on the problem you actually want to solve. Build your content pillars around that problem and actually solving that problem and creating solutions. And consistently give your best advice away for free. Do that for the next 6 months and you'll stop creating content just to get views. And you'll actually start building content that actually builds trust that people can actually take the next step with you. And the creators who are sometimes making the most money online aren't necessarily the creators with the biggest audiences, but they're the creators with the most trust that they can actually help solve a problem. And once you understand that, social media and making money online stops feeling random because you're no longer chasing followers. You're actually building trust at scale. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and I'll catch you guys again on the next video.